afternoon at 80 kilos, Tiger Style, Lee Moriarty! His opponent in the corner to my left, from Silicon Valley, California, weighing in at 192 pounds, Wheeler YUTA!
You can see brand new ring gear, brand new shoes. He was very happy to point out his new shoes to me, was Wheeler YUTA.
Well, look at that. I mean, somebody finally got that stimulus money, huh? And now, Lee here, I feel like this is going to be that show stealer match.
Very well could be, but Lee Moriarty talking about his love and respect in blending the Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do style into his brand of professional wrestling.
And you know, that is a style of martial arts that I never perfected, so I know how difficult it is.
Yeah, how many years did you do it?
Like 40. And now, just taking Wheeler YUTA right down, but we've seen over time Wheeler YUTA, the longer the match goes, the more in favor it is. The stamina of this young man is unparalleled.
He has been waiting a long time for this. Another person who has definitely taken his time off and bettered his body for it, looking in fantastic shape, is Wheeler YUTA here, as we can talk about who he beat in the first 2 seasons of Uncharted Territory. I mean, Fred Yehide, Chuck O'Neal, Ace Austin, Brandon Thurston, just to name a few. So he's overcome a lot himself.
Or we can talk about how Lee Moriarty is just out wrestling Wheeler YUTA in the early moments of this match. It's not about what you did, it's what you're doing right now, and Lee is definitely one-upping.
For sure. I talked to Wheeler YUTA before the show, and he said he was pretty nervous because he knows just how good Moriarty is, especially after his series of matches with Alex Shelley that put him on the map. If you can go in there toe-to-toe with a wrestler like that, you know you can go with anybody.
And that's what he's doing. And now Wheeler YUTA, he's just going to use that upper body strength here to get that shoulder up, and that takes a lot out of you. I mean, the ring is about 151 degrees right now.
Look at that bridge and the neck strength here on display from Wheeler YUTA. Finally goes down, gets up into a bridge yet again. Moriarty struggling a little bit to keep YUTA's shoulders on the mat, and as cleanly as you like, YUTA out of it.
YUTA getting right out, getting back into a neutral corner here and trying to restart this thing and maybe have a better go at it here.
Trips out the leg, does Moriarty, tying him up. Surfboard position, perhaps? No. Transitions out, grabs that arm.
This is very, very interesting offense here by Lee Moriarty, as he is taking him down, out-wrestling him, and then just grabbing an arm, grabbing a leg, grabbing the neck. He's moving the offense around the body.
And floated in midair, did YUTA. Clamping down on the knee. Gonna go for a death lock here, perhaps. But who knows where they're going to go. Just when I think they're going in one direction, they go in the other.
Wheeler YUTA, very versatily trained. Oh, and look at the neck muscles. You talked about him earlier, and now he's using his neck muscles to inflict pain on his opponent.
And the thing about Moriarty is, I mean, right now he's on the defensive, but when he was on the offensive, you talked about how he's outmaneuvering YUTA, but for only 4.5 years in the business, he is flawless in there.
Very, very smooth. And that's something that isn't taught. That is a natural gift from God. And Moriarty is really showing off, and that's only going to get better the longer he's a pro wrestler.
A stalemate here between the two. And YUTA getting a little hot here.
See, and this is a mistake in a match like this. And now just a forearm here, but Moriarty charging him.
YUTA up and over. Moriarty up and over himself as well. Rolls through, does YUTA. Off the second rope. Arm drag, takeover. Both men on their feet. Moriarty out of the way. Oh, look at that. I haven't seen that since I was 7.
And now it's still effective here because now he's in the head.
Oh, wow.
Look at this, a pin, 2.
Pinned him. Both men thinking a little differently. Moriarty almost getting the pin there. Arm drag of his own. Trips the legs out. YUTA on all fours, kicks the left arm, drop kick, and YUTA down to the floor.
You know, you wouldn't know this, But when you see a wrestling move done over and over again, a wrestler's mindset is to think of a counter to that. He telegraphed that roll through and rolled on top of him into a pin and almost got him. Very impressive.
Yeah, you talked about muscle memory during the Injustice and Bear Country match. It was on display there, except Moriarty was just a step ahead and rolled through that.
And now trying to go after that AC joint in the shoulder here, using his legs, and now just, you know, hold with the arm bar.
Moriarty, Wheeler Yuta here, 2 weeks notice, Beyond Wrestling, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Paul Crockett and Sidney Bacabella on the call as Yuta on the second rope.
Artful dodger there by Wheeler Yuta. Shades of Johnny Saint.
That British style definitely on display. Fakes, goes underneath. Big time clothesline from Yuta.
And now Wheeler Yuta, catch your breath and then hit a big move. Here he goes.
An effective elbow. He dropped it right on that arm that he has been, you know, going after this entire match.
Only a count of 2 there, and Wheeler Yuta taking that second to look at the crowd, look at the camera, and say, you know, show that disappointment on his face. You can't do that in a match like this.
Shot from Yuta. Moriarty with one of his own. You talk about the heat. People might see this style and think, you know, they're not moving around too much, but they are moving around more than you think.
And, you know, you got to remember, oh, and a big senton. It's 163 degrees in that ring. Cover 2.
You happy with yourself? With
you
the
cook
degrees?
turkeys. You cook turkeys at a lower temperature.
Wheeler Yuta. Look at the way he is trying to wrench on that arm and neck, but Moriarty with playing defense here, making sure that Yuta can't fully lock it in.
The telling story was Moriarty's face while he was in that. He is gasping for air right now.
And he is very hurt. And guess what, Sidney? We have record-breaking streaming numbers right now for this broadcast. What do you think?
I'm going to say 634,000 people watching us right now, and they just, look at that.
La Mystica, he's going for that Fujiwara armbar. He calls it joint custody, and he is going for it.
And Wheeler Yuta's far away from the ropes. There is no way he can even grab the rope. The only thing he can do right now is either roll through or tap out.
Right in the center of the ring. Yuta's going to have to use all of his cunning, and he did. 2 count.
Nicely done.
Off. Slap to the face and a knee. There's a block from Moriarty. Kicks the leg out. Oh, European uppercut in midair.
With a springboard cover and only a count of 2.
Go for it. That's a straight arm bar.
Shade.
Yuta needs to get out of this. He's in grave danger.
Yeah, he is hurt, and once again, far away from the ropes. If he breaks the plane of the elbow, he'll break the arm, and Wheeler Yuta will have to tap out.
Just a little bend to Yuta's arm is keeping him in this one. There's a 2 count. Yuta back to his feet. Drops him on his head.
Big Saito soup. And, you know, I think one of the things that really is helping Wheeler Yuta get out of these is the fact that both men are sweating profusely. So he's using that and able to get out of all of these different holds.
Wheeler Yuta going to the top rope now, trying to put this one away. Moriarty has had an answer for everything so far, but will he have one now?
Rolling right through it. Looks like he has watched every Wheeler Yuta match that there is.
No, lands on top of him. 2 count. Both men up. Ducks the clothesline. Springboard into the splash.
Cross body and only a count of 2. But Wheeler Yuta back up to a vertical base, and he is eyeing his prey.
Got the boot up. Goes to that second rope. Fakes. Gives himself time to go up top.
Oh, his arm caught him in the nose.
Big high cross body, but Moriarty out at 2.
The left arm of Wheeler Yuta caught Moriarty right in the nose here. Oh, with that kick, caught him in the back of the head.
Big time Enziguri. Both men are down, and after that flurry, they must be absolutely exhausted.
You know what? I would just lay there for a 10 count and get counted out. I'd talk to my opponent and say, hey, I agree to stay down. Then I'd get up at 9 and just pin him.
Wow, what a strategist are you, Sidney Bacabella, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. Moriarty Gets pushed into the corner. Try some trickery.
But rolling right through is Moriarty.
No,
again.
hold on. And again, these two going back and forth. Neither man can stay still.
This is awesome.
Here we go. And again. Oh, hold on. 2 count.
When have you ever seen that?
Big time Enziguri from YUTA. Misdirection from Moriarty. Gonna go for that La Mystica. No.
Wait a minute.
Wait, hold on. We've seen this before.
He's got him. He's tapping out.
That is a submission win for Wheeler Yuta.
Here's your winner by submission, Wheeler Yuta.
And you said it before this match, Sydney. This could be a show stealer. That was an absolute clinic by both men.
Incredible. Take your hat off, gentlemen. Hats off to you, because you just put on a fantastic wrestling match. I want to see a lot more of Moriarty here in Beyond Wrestling.
You and me both. That was absolutely fantastic. And although he came out on the losing end of this one, he has nothing to be ashamed of.
Not at all. You got bested by one of the best in Wheeler Yuta.